Assalamu alaikum. We're now with part four of why Western education has failed or is failing, and the solution part two. So one of the core features that is a structural problem in education is lesson planning. Now people will say, "What are you talking about?" Teachers that plan lessons like on a daily basis are actually not fully prepared for a good lesson, because when you start preparing only for one lesson with the aim and objective, etc., and the children ask you out of that particular feature a question, you keep them quiet because you're going to say you're not there yet, you're going to do it next week, or sometimes you even tell them no, you must wait until you get to high school. That is this prepared lessons feature, aim and objective, that kind of stuff. It's more restricting on the actual teaching process, and secondly, the teacher in the actual fact creates a lesson and forces the child to follow that particular process or program. He's not open to children, not open to choosing, because doesn't have his lessons fully prepared. And if that teacher leaves, you've got a problem, because now another teacher is going to come. He's not going to have the same kind of structure, and so it creates a massive problem. And we know within the other structural problems is that there's 35 children to 40 children in the classroom. It's impossible to give individual attention. So basically mass education is about, everybody must sit down and everybody must listen to the teacher. But a 35-minute period and a lesson presentation that actually is prepared from a teacher's perspective, it becomes teacher-centered education and not child-centered education. And the teachers will get upset with children who don't follow the rules in the classroom, And this is how Ritalin is being prescribed to some children who ask too many questions, who are too lively, etc., because the structure in the classroom is not child-centered. So, and your basic problem is that there are no pre-prepared lessons. And so part of the solution that I brought up over the past 28 years of developing the model of transforming the education was to realize that the core feature of education is that there is a lack of good resources. There's a changing of curriculum. There's a lack of good teachers, because I found out basically if you take a basic research in staff meetings, with all due respect, or staff, you find about 3 or 4 teachers are really committed. The rest are just coming for salary, with all due respects. What happened with COVID? COVID actually exposed the lazy teachers and the teachers that were really prepared, because they couldn't cope with having things online, etc. What the online feature did during COVID was to prove the fact that to run schools according to periods and one after the other is destructive to the child, because the children could not in actual fact survive. There were so many children who had problems in terms of psychological issues and whatnot during that particular period of time, because there was no interaction between them and other children. So if you look at lesson preparation, if you do it on a daily basis, you are going to be caught, because the children can ask you questions out of that particular ambit, and now you're going to be stuck with it. So one of the things that I did was to prepare lessons, complete lessons for the whole of the primary section, and complete all the lessons for the whole of the senior phase. So there is no particular necessity for preparing lessons, and the lessons are done in such a way that it's the board work, it's the children's notebook, it's the question and answer series, it's the practical features for development of skills, it is the research for outside into internet. It's all in one particular manual. So this allows the teacher to actually ask the student, what would you like to do? Because all the lessons are already prepared. And so you can have now a situation where the learners choose what they want to learn, because the teachers are fully prepared. And all the lessons are all there, integrated with all the subjects are all integrated. So an holistic methodologist, which is the kind of people we prepare at ICRA HLL University, are able to teach any particular feature holistically and integrated with every particular subject. So I'm making a video while the kids are upstairs. So normally I have to make a video when they're not here. But be that as may, we are there already. And so the important part of the solution is to have your lessons fully prepared. I will be showing the kind of manuals that I've designed for the primary section and for the senior section and for beyond, and how I've integrated all the subjects in terms of these particular manuals, and how the holistic methodologist is ready to prepare or to present any particular feature of where the learner is interested in, and at the same time the learner can continue his own particular program and do his own learning. And what's so interesting about our manuals at Ikra University is that when there was an outage of electricity or there was a lockdown, etc., our students continued because they didn't need electricity because the manuals were fully prepared. And so that is an exciting feature. All the books are done, all the lessons are done, and it gives the children a kind of empowerment of choosing what is interesting to them. And some of our students, in actual fact, will study a feature on their own and come and teach it the next day. And that's where we are building self-esteem or self-worth. The moment you have the opposite, which is the conventional education, you break down the self-esteem because you tell the child every time what to do. You forcing the child to, now the fear factor of the child is operating on the back of his brain, and he cannot use his reasoning because he's fearful of what you're going to say. And the whole program is like that. So with holistic integration, with holistic leisure learning, you actually have all your materials all completely done. Your posters and everything all integrated. Your artwork is there. The subjects are all integrated. The children find value in the manuals. And soon I will be showing you the actual manuals on the screen. And how are we able to now train teachers? We are able to train parents. We're able to train young people at the same time, and we're training them so that they can assist other people. So we have young people of 13 years old being able to tutor matrics, and people that are grade 12 or 18 years old. And our program is so advanced and so accelerating that our learners can read within 2 to 3 days, and actually write it as well. Whereas your conventional kind of reading program, sounds and individual letters and all that kind of stuff, which is basically designed on the physics model of, you have to first know the parts before you can get to the whole. No. If you teach the whole and you see the kids will just immediately start reading, start getting the sentences, structures developed, their art ability developed, their ability to write their own sentences, and the vocabulary just increases. And what we do have, which is a powerful piece of work, is a set of poems. I've done a set of poems in our holistic methodology, holistic curriculum-related reflections, in which I took the outcomes of a subject in terms of education, and I incorporated that into a poem. So the learner is able to achieve the outcomes of a particular subject holistically, knowing the poem. He knows the poem and he knows the vocabulary related to the outcomes, and he can then punch that in and go into the internet. So you got one book that covers all the grades or all the ages from from 6 years old right up to varsity level and above. Parents are finding it exciting because it's like a motivational feature, because in one poem they can understand features that they've never been able to understand, and if even on a university level, people don't understand what they are doing because it's so fractionalized in university. So alhamdulillah, we have an enormous amount of resources, and we also break down the conventional thinking of what is consciousness and what is epistemology, because all those terminologies are all based on people who don't believe in the creator, and they create their own, what they call their truths and their kind of definitions and terminology. And that is just to confuse people, to put doubt into people's minds so that people slip themselves in terms of not believing in the creator. So what we do is to integrate everything and to create a kind of a excitement for discovering miracles. And that's what we do. So if we teach photosynthesis, we don't teach photosynthesis as a part of biology. No. We We teach photosynthesis as a miracle of the Creator because most people don't know exactly how photosynthesis works. It is just part of the thing that we know about, the energy level, but we don't know the actual features how it works. So we teach our learners that whatever you learn, in actual fact, is discovering a miracle of the Creator, and so it becomes more. People become more grateful of what the Creator has created for us, and now each thing integrated. So that's exciting stuff. So I'm hoping to bring the manuals, or to show you the manuals on the video. And these manuals can be bought by people outside as well. And so even if you're not part of our particular institute, you can upgrade yourself on the other level. We teach adults a 50-hour course in terms of accelerated program through our manuals. And they are amazed because they never thought they could do physics or can do maths. And the core feature of our particular advantage is that I've managed to figure out what is the core features, that a skill that you need that covers all the subjects. In other words, a skill that you will need for maths, for physics, etc., etc. The kids are coming down, so I'm going to stop now. All the best for you, inshallah. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Assalamu alaikum.